came on a little bit early so I can send out all the invites. I know the Texans are playing for everybody in Houston, all my Texas fans. Just take a little break. I know the game is on. I know. I need to do better research on scheduling my lives around game days, especially with the Texans. I guess it's a big deal tonight. Playoffs or something like that, right? Oh, Coldplay. Coldplay is the jam, y'all. Okay, I don't like that I pinned this. I don't. Okay, good. It's gone. We're going live tonight with Rebecca. Becca Fixes Credit. It's going to be a great interview. I wanted to jump on and send the invite out early because all my Houston Texans fans, I know you guys are watching the game. Hopefully, okay, good. Be back, sister. Hopefully you guys will be popping in and out. You can always catch the replay, but of course, it's never the same unless you're there live. So you got to come on live, y'all. Y'all got to come on live. We're going to be talking all things credit. So stick around. And Coldplay, y'all. Coldplay. This is the stuff. Hi, Sissy. Share the live out, repost. Thank you so much for the repost, Patty. We're going to get started here in a few. As soon as Rebecca gets online, we'll get started. Go Houston Texans. I know the game is on, but hopefully you guys will stick around for a little bit to catch a great interview with Miss Rebecca. Becca Fixes Credit. What a great way to start the new year, y'all. Some great information. Welcome in, y'all. It's going to be a great interview tonight. The community mic, let's talk about it. Amanda C, that's me, TikTok queen. We have a great interview for tonight. Miss Rebecca, Becca Fixes Credit. You guys want to stick around for this. It's going to be a good one. Which way to go? Come in close, come in slowly now. Just let me go. Other hearts may fly away. But my hope is that you'll stay. Where's your warehouse? Share the live. Everybody, welcome in. This is Amanda C, TikTok queen, the community mic. Let's talk about it. We're going to get started here about 8 o'clock. Just kind of letting everybody come in, sharing out the live, and we'll get started here soon. Maybe find words. Still, I've often thought that words. Welcome in, Mr. Silva. Welcome in. Sarduro Perico. Welcome in, welcome in. We have a great interview lined up tonight. Becca Fixes Credit. We're gonna start about 8-ish. Get everybody time to come in because I know all my Houstonians are watching the Texas versus Steelers game tonight. Good morning, Luna. Good morning. Good Lord, y'all. It hasn't even been a long day. I don't know what's wrong with me. Javier Barragon. Welcome in. Stick around. We're going to be interviewing Becca Fixes Credit. What a great way to start the new year, y'all. Great information. You don't want to miss it. Jessica Martinez, welcome in. Thank you for joining the live. I hope you stick around. It's going to be a great interview. Carmen Rivera, welcome in. Thank you guys for joining the live. We're going to get started here a little bit after 8 o'clock. Going to be interviewing Rebecca, Miss Becca Fixes Credit. A great way to start the new year, y'all. Y'all got to stick around. My name is Amanda C, TikTok queen, the community mic. Hi, Wellies. So if you love me, let me know. To my heart, which way to go? Hi, baby girl. Coming close, but coming slowly now. If you love me, let me know. All right, Miss Rebecca has entered the chat. I'm going to go ahead and send her an invite. And we'll give her a chance to live. And we'll get started a little bit after 8 o'clock, y'all. Get everybody time to come in after she sends hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So we'll get started here a little bit around 8 o'clock. So it gives you time to share the live, make sure all your people know that they need to get on. I saw your posts on Instagram and on Facebook. Girl, you working it.
Oh yeah, I'm trying. I actually linked my Facebook to my Instagram, so it cross posts, but sometimes I forget to look at Facebook and then I go in and I'm like, oh, I forgot. But it's helpful at least. I just wish there was a way for all three to do it. But
yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. All right, good. Welcome into Hano Beats. Appreciate you joining the live. Make sure you stick around. We're going to get started here about 8 o'clock. We're going to let everybody that's, received the invitation, give them time to come in on TikTok, and hopefully get started with us here around 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we're both early.
Yes, I like to get on early so that I can share it and make sure that I can get everybody riled up in here, right? In time.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's good.
Let me go ahead and get in here.
Definitely. No, that's good.
Let me go ahead and get in here.
Definitely. No, that's good.
Go ahead and get in here.
Did you do anything fun today?
Nothing but work.
Got to stay on the grind.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I just worked my regular. I'm usually at work about 6:45, and then at the bus stop, because I commute, I park and ride with my sister. So I'll leave my car at the park and ride, and then I'll commute with her into downtown, and then I take the bus home because usually she has stuff to do after work. So I'll take the bus. I'll catch the bus about 5 o'clock. Sometimes I get lucky and I leave about 4:45. And I'm able to be on the bus by 5 o'clock. But today, I didn't get on the bus till a little bit after 5 o'clock. And then I didn't get to my car till maybe, 5:45 a little bit. The bus was running late. The bus was running really late today.
But that's helpful, though, because at least you don't have to drive through the rush hour and all of that. Like, that's miserable.
I like it. And then my company gives me a monthly stipend to take the bus. So they give me a Metro card and they put money on that Metro card every month, and that's what I use.
I would do the same thing. I mean, when I was in Seattle for a bit, I stayed in downtown and they have nothing but basically Metro. So that was convenient. But
yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, so let's see. Get this shared out. Hello, Apple user. Good to see you. Yes, I do remember you. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate that. Sandra, welcome in. Thank you for joining the live. Everybody who's joining the live, stick around. We're going to get started about 8 o'clock. We're going to be talking to Miss Rebecca, Becca Fixes Credit. What a great way to start the new year, y'all. It's talking all about, getting your finances right, getting your credit score right, all things credit. We're talking about it tonight. So you want to make sure you stick around the live, share the live, like the live, and ask all the questions because I know she's ready. I definitely know that she's ready to answer all the questions. I'm ready to ask all the questions. So stick around, make sure you're sharing, and most importantly, follow both creators. Becca, Credit Repair Specialist. Did she ask you that? I love Avery. She's too cute. So make sure you're following both users, both creators, the Community Mike Amanda C, Miss Rebecca, Becca Credit Repair Specialist. I always say this on the lives. This platform is completely free, y'all. I mean, you can like all you want. You can share all you want. It's not going to cost you anything unless you start sending us gifts, right? Then it's a different story, which we appreciate that too. Don't get me wrong. But, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, Balloons Batico, Baseball Mom. She is absolutely amazing. You got to go follow Miss Becca, Credit Repair Specialist, Balloons Batico. She's an amazing creator, Rebecca. You need to follow her as well if you're not already. She is amazing. I've started following her last year sometime, maybe about 2 years ago, I think. And we've become very, very good friends on TikTok. And I had the honor to get invited to her daughter's quinceañera. So yes, and we didn't know each other aside from TikTok. So it's a pretty cool story. And we've hit it off, and we have some things that we want to do this year together that I think is going to be very, very fun.
Oh, I'm excited to see it. Yeah, I just followed her.
Awesome. Carlos P., welcome in, sir. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have everybody in the lives. Again, make sure you share, follow both creators, ask all the questions. Howdy. Oh, nice to see you, Lupe. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for joining the live. I appreciate you. Hello, everybody. Tonight, we are talking to Miss Rebecca. Becca Fixes Credit, Becca Credit Repair Specialist. We are ready to get started. We are ready to start and let you guys know how you guys can start the journey on fixing your credit. Any questions that you have, make sure you put them in the chat. We will definitely get to them. My moderator is La Dreamer. She should be logging on here soon. Until then, if I can't get to your questions, or if Rebecca can't get to your questions, I know when La Dreamer comes in, she'll make sure that we notice you and get to your questions as soon as we can. So let's go ahead and get started. For those who are just joining the live, for those that are new to this platform, to the Community Mic, let's talk about it. My name is Amanda C., the TikTok queen, the Community Mic, let's talk about it. And tonight we're talking to Becca, Credit Repair Specialist. I'm not going to introduce her. I'm going to let her do that all on her own. Go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do, Miss Rebecca.
Well, hi, everyone. My name is Becca. So basically, yes, I help fix credit, but I also help to rebuild it. So oftentimes we always talk about, disputing, but I always say that it's more than just disputing. So I always try my best to make sure that, yes, we can delete items, but we're also building up so that way you actually see the score that you want to see.
Awesome. So what got you into credit repair?
It's kind of like a two-part process, or more story. So first, and it's so crazy. So whenever I was young, my aunt had put me as an authorized user on her credit card. So I was 18 and I had like a 700 credit score. And I just knew, okay, just pay on time. So I kept paying on time. And then I just maintained it forever. But back in, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago almost, I was in this really bad car accident. So I was rear-ended. I actually flipped off the highway 12 times. And yeah, it's crazy. But, I made it. So now I'm here. But the thing is after that, it took me a long recovery time. So I had post-concussion syndrome for maybe like a year, and I couldn't drive even 20 minutes or so. So I ended up losing my job. And at that time, I was getting paid close to like $30 an hour, which isn't bad, obviously. But lost my job, then I couldn't pay anything. And so I ran up my credit cards because I had high credit limits. I had probably like $30,000 worth of, credit that I could use. So I did that to survive. But guess what? I kept charging it, didn't have a way to pay it back. So then all my cards went to collections and my credit got ruined itself. So I was like, well, what do I do now? And I think you met me whenever I was doing real estate. So I was doing real estate, and then I'm coming across everybody who has bad credit. I have bad credit. And I came across somebody who actually introduced me to credit repair. So I was like, well, I need mine fixed. And I don't know, I just liked the whole process, and I actually liked it more than real estate. So that's pretty much what happened.
Oh, that's an amazing story. So when you got into this accident, where were you living?
I was in New Mexico.
New Mexico. And you said it was a long time recovery period. During that recovery time, you obviously you couldn't work, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you were kind of in recovery, you still couldn't get back to work. It was just there was not that option for you. So the only option for you to pay bills and to eat and to survive were living off credit cards.
Yeah, basically.
And how old were you when all of this was going on?
I was 24 years old.
So you were still young, still trying to, get into the life, right? And get into a career, right? And grow as a woman, right? And then this devastating accident happens and you don't know what else to do except try to survive, and that was on credit cards.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, wow. And I'm sure your story resonates with a lot of people that, they maybe they lose their job, they get into a horrible accident like you, and that's they think that's their only option. And most of the time that's really your only option, is to get a credit card and use that until you can't use it no more, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's actually most of the time that's what I see is people get into these unexpected life situations. And first of all, we're not taught about credit. And also another part, even though it's not exactly credit, it's still financial literacy. And that's still a lot of stuff, like a lot of things that we aren't educated on. So we end up in these tough spots. So it's not so much because sometimes I feel that people have a stigma towards somebody with bad credit, but a lot of times there's actually a lot more to it. And I mean, everybody does deserve a second chance. So
Yeah, absolutely. So why is understanding your credit so important, especially in our community?
So basically, credit is going to be your measure of trustworthiness. So it's showing lenders how much can I trust you? And by doing so, then basically you, by this grade that you have, which is your credit score essentially, you have access to more resources that you wouldn't have otherwise. So let's say, for example, maybe you just work really hard all the time and you're just, you know what, I'm going to pay cash, I'm going to pay cash, I'm going to pay cash. And that's cool and everything. But what if you're like, okay, I want to go on a nice vacation, or maybe you want to go ahead, upgrade your car, anything like that. So you go in, and you don't have to have a 700 credit score to get approved. That's, I think, something a lot of people think it has to happen, but no, you can be in the 600s and you still get approved for good things.
Yeah.
But you go in with this credit score, higher, not a 3, 4, or 5. You're not gonna get anything, but like 6, 7, especially 8. Go in, you might not have had this resource otherwise, but they're looking. They're like, you know what, Amanda, you have good credit. I see that you pay on time, everything. So I'll give you this money. So there you go. You didn't have that money otherwise, and all of a sudden you have that $10,000, the $32,000, anything like that, and then you're able to actually use that for, like I said, a vacation, or maybe if you want a house or a car, or even for business funding too, because that's something that I feel a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize, that we have access to that kind of funding.
Wow, that's very interesting. So what advice would you give somebody, a young person? You said your aunt put you on as a co-signer. What did you call it?
An authorized user.
So what is an authorized user, and would you recommend that for parents or tias or tios or anybody else thinking about doing that for their niece or nephew or daughter or son?
Yeah, so if you have good credit, then I would recommend that you do that for, whoever it is that you care about. I don't exactly recommend it to friends, but if you have that close bond, then that's, obviously that's between them. Yeah. But basically, the authorized user is, what you're going to do is just, you call your credit card company and you say, hey, I want to add Amanda to my credit card as an authorized user. You say, okay. So they add you on. And let's say that I've had this card for, 10 years. I have a good credit limit, everything on there. So basically, just by adding you on as an authorized user, then you get all of that history onto your credit report. And so that actually helps to either build if you have zero credit, or if you have bad credit, then it also shows up. But also on the flip side of this, if you have, but it's just per card. So if you have a credit card and you know that you have late payments, or because the other thing too is the high credit utilization. So if you have a maxed out credit card, that's not going to do as much good as you think. So it has to be in good standing. So 0 late payments and also a low credit utilization. Because if you just add somebody on, then like I said, it's just not going to help as much as you think. So that's kind of the 2, I'd say, requirements if you're considering doing that.
Oh, okay. And you would mainly recommend it like for your son, daughter, close relative, not necessarily, hey, I'm gonna go get my homegirl's daughter and get her as an authorized user because y'all are good friends type of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. And I guess it's my unpopular opinion. I actually don't encourage co-signing at all. Yeah. But like I said, it's kind of a risk that you're deciding to take on your own time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Okay. So what is one common misconception that people have about credit repair?
I think, and I probably get it all the time, is that you can get your credit fixed in 30 days. So, or
And
less.
that's not true.
I mean, you could, but most of the time, the people who actually do this, they use a lot of illegal tactics. So you're going to end up getting in trouble. Or if they're able to wipe it off in 30 days, oftentimes you'll see it come back. So that's why if somebody's offering that quick fix that a lot of people want,
You have to be
then
skeptical.
yeah. Yeah, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Because also, too, it's kind of like, I like to use the analogy of gaining weight. You know, you didn't wake up the next day and you're like 20 pounds overweight. It took time to gain
Yeah.
the weight. It's going to take time to lose the weight. So your credit just didn't get damaged in like one day or so. It took time. It took those late payments. It took the collections. It took everything. So it's going to take time to take them off too.
Oh, okay. We have a question in the comments. Is it true that after 7 years, some debts come off your credit?
Yes, it is true. So after 7 years, it's supposed to come off of your credit report, but sometimes, because there's such a thing as a debt clock. So let's say that, there's a collection and it's been on there 7 years. But if that collection was resold again, then it'll show up with a different company and then that kind of resets the clock. Or if there's sign of a updated activity, which they're not supposed to do, but oftentimes they still do anyway, and that'll also reset that debt clock. So sometimes you might see something on there longer than it's supposed to be. But that's also because actually Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they aren't government agencies like people think. They're actually for profit. So there's a lot of errors that they make and there's a lot of stuff that they do that is actually illegal, but they're not supposed to be doing. But since people don't know what to look for, but also a lot of times people don't monitor their credit, then a lot of things kind of go under the rug.
Yeah. Can someone with bad credit still get, loans and money and credit cards and things like that?
I mean, technically, maybe you could if
Yeah.
there's somebody who doesn't do the no credit check, or if they say, "Oh, we accept all credit." But I would really be careful about that. So oftentimes I consider that really predatory, because knowing that you have bad credit and oftentimes these people may or may not be able to pay you back, they'll put a very high interest, sometimes like 11, 12% or more. So you end up losing money over time because of what they're doing. So some places, yes, but for the most part, no.
You got to be wary. You definitely have to, again, it's going back to being skeptical. If it sounds too good, like, you have a horrible credit score and they're trying to offer you a credit score or get approved for something like that, more than likely there's going to be a high interest rate attached to that.
Yeah, definitely. And while they said some people don't think about it because you just see the payment and you say, "Oh, I can make it." It's just over time it accumulates so that, whatever you think is, "Oh, it's only 300, 400 a month," then you end up paying like maybe 10 or 12,000 more than you should have over time.
Wow, that's horrible. And I'm sure a lot of people get into that rut. Perfect example. You got, in this horrible accident, you didn't have any other choice but to live off credit cards. And that's how you got all this debt, because you had no other choice. And I'm sure that's where a lot of people are at right now. But that's why we do, I'd like to get people like you on these lives so that we can open up this door, open up this window, open up this, information to the people that may not have it at their fingertips. So for everybody who's just joined us in the live tonight, Amanda C, TikTok Queen of the Community, Mike, let's talk about it. And we are talking to Becca, Credit Repair Specialist. She is giving us some gems. She's dropping us some great information. If you're not taking notes, you need to be taking notes. I know I keep looking at my phone because I had some questions that I wanted to make sure to ask you, and I want to make sure that I take my notes as well, because I'm in a boat where, I do have a little bit of debt. I have one credit card that I don't know what the heck to do with, right? And then I have these school loans that it's just like, what do I do with that? I think I had a conversation with you about that, school loans from when I was in school, it's just a lot. And sometimes people just don't know where to go. They don't have the information and they don't know who to ask and who they can trust. So if you're seeing this live, this is my girl. You guys make sure you reach out to her, right? Make sure you follow her. here on TikTok and all her social media platforms. She's giving you some great information to start off the new year right. So make sure you're going and you're asking all the questions, right? And you're going and following her so that you can get the information you need when you're ready. So what is one of the biggest credit cards mistakes that we make?
I think it's just really maxing it out. So part of what makes up your credit score is actually your credit utilization. And credit utilization is basically, let's say I give you $1,000. I'm like, here you go. And you go and you max out that $1,000 or you go over. So automatically that drops your score a lot because it's showing that you're spending irresponsibly. And like I said, your credit score is a measure of how trustworthy you are, how risky you are to lenders.
Yeah.
So if you are getting these cards and you're just going ahead and, like I said, free money or like whatever, I'll pay it off, it's not going to help that much. What I always say is best whenever you get these, overall, your credit utilization should be 30%, but you should just have like less than 10% each card. So the way that you can just calculate this, so like let's say yes, like the $1,000 credit card, you can just put on your phone on your calculator 1,000 times 10%. Then it'll show how much you should keep it under. But really, you should treat it like a debit card. So every time you make a purchase, go and pay it off. Go and pay it off. Unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, then I get it. But if you can keep your spending below 10%, then that's really what's going to make a difference. And you're going to see your credit score increase over time.
Wow, that's good information. So then we're going to go into tips and strategies. What's your number one tip to start improving your credit score?
Well, number one, and it's so important and it sounds so simple, but literally it is just looking at all three of your credit scores. Okay. So a lot of people like to use Credit Karma, or sometimes they'll just download Experian, but you have to remember that you have three credit scores. You have Experian, you have Equifax, and you have TransUnion. So typically, me personally, I like Smart Credit. Okay. So like I have a link for a dollar trial, so you can just kind of go in and see what's going on. Or if you want to pay monthly, then it's typically around $20, but you need to see the detail of every single account. I mean, there's other ways. If you want to go into each one and see, then you can. The reason that I don't care for Credit Karma is because it only shows 2 out of 3, and most of the time they're trying to get you to just buy, or not buy, but to go ahead and opt into these credit cards or to these loans, which, I get is business, but you still have that disadvantage because you could have good credit scores on these 2, but then you're missing out on one, and that one, it could be damaged. You don't know. So that's what's going to be important, is see all 3. So you can just look up, on Google or something, how to see all 3 of my credit scores. And so a lot of these, you'll see like Identity IQ, free annual credit report, you'll see the Smart Credit, etc. So just make sure you can see all 3. As you go through each one, and I don't expect anybody to know exactly like what you're looking at, because obviously I can see like, oh, what's negative or what's positive, but at least go through and see what makes sense. So if my name's Rebecca, I shouldn't have an alias of Amanda. Obviously, like that's gonna not be me. Or if I see that I have an address that I never lived at, then I'm gonna want to take that off. And then you keep going through. And did I ever open up like a credit card with, I don't know, Victoria's Secret or with Shell? If it's not mine, it's not mine. And also too, and actually I just helped one of my friends out the other day because she had gotten refinanced on one of her trailers, and it was showing incorrectly. So it was showing that it was open and that it still had like this balance. So it's things like that. If an account is closed, it's closed. It shouldn't be open. If you have late payments, and so you can just go ahead, and the negatives that you're going to see are late payments, collections, charge-offs, repossessions. You're going to write down every single negative. And if there's not any negative, then you probably have something else that's going on. But that's just a good way to go ahead and just stop and look and see what's going on.
So, and let's say I see an address that I never lived at, or there's an alias that's not my name. How am I able to take care of that on my own? Or do you recommend reaching out to yourself, someone like you, to help with that situation, or those little things that we can fix on our end?
So as far as that, what you're gonna want to do, you can reach out to a credit repair specialist and see. But typically, if you see something like that, then you more than likely are a victim of identity theft.
Okay.
Identity theft is a whole other thing, or a whole other way that you approach it, because the way that
Okay.
you would report identity theft, you actually do have to, and it depends. You can go file the police report if you want to go there, but if not, at least you have to go file the FTC report, and you have to go, and then you'll write to each of the three. The police report will help you, because if it's not you, it's not you.
Yeah.
But this is also where a lot of people, they can also, I would say, if you go and you file a police report on something that you know is yours, but you just want it off, you are going to get locked up. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing. So if it's legitimately not identity theft, do not do it. If it is, then I would suggest doing it. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that FTC report, you're going to take that police report, and you're also going to list every account, everything that you don't recognize, that is not your name, that is not your information, and you're going to send it to the credit bureaus. There is a law, which is 605B, and that's what you're going to state, which is of the identity theft. And so that's how you'd be able to take those off.
Wow, y'all. She's given us some great information here. I really appreciate you explaining that and, being very clear. We have a question from Linda Tovar, 1262. Hi, are you able to get a tri-merge credit report for free once a year?
So by tri-merge, I think you're thinking of all three. So I think on my free credit score, they do allow you to get one free report once a year. But I know with every single credit reporting agency, so Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, you can get it also for free once a year. But if you're trying to see it like monthly or even sooner than that, then you're going to have to pay to do that.
Okay, great. So that was from Linda Tovar, 1262. You might want to follow up with her after this live, just in case, so that you're clear with her. And then we have another question from Patty. How often should we check our credit report?
I'd say, me typically, I look at mine once a month. But if you aren't going to look at it once a month, then I say at least once a year. And especially if you're planning on making a major purchase, then I suggest probably at least once a month. Major purchase being a car or a house. But also, you guys, I don't do real estate anymore. But if you want to get a new house and a new car, get the house first. Do not get the car first.
Yes.
So that's just something.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've been struggling. And I think when we spoke many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I was at a place where I wanted to get ready to get a house, but I also wanted to get a car. And you were like, girl, get your house first before you get a car. And I was just telling I think it was my kid and my family the other day, where we were talking about, like, I really would like to get another car, but I just can't see myself driving around an $1,800 car payment, right? Your car payment when I don't have a house right now. That just didn't make any sense to me. I'd rather make an $1,800 mortgage payment, right, than an $1,800 car payment. And I know that's a lot, but $1,200, $1,300 is what the average is for a car payment. Thank goodness mine's not that right now. But, to get into a new vehicle, that's what I was looking at. And I just couldn't fathom that in my head. Like, there's no way. I'm in transition right now. You kind of know my story. I'm, with my son right now, and I just couldn't be like, oh, me pulling up in a 2026, Ford Bronco, because that's what I want. Para ahí estoy viviendo con mi hijo. Like, I'm living with my kid and I'm rolling up in this badass car. Like, no, I couldn't. Like, and my kid's like, all right. I'm like, no, I couldn't do that. There's no way. So get the house before you get the car, guys. So then we have another question. How important is credit utilization and how to manage it? I think I may have asked that already.
So it is important. It's one of the main factors that actually makes up your overall credit score. And honestly, too, for anybody who asks me for fast results, this is the one thing that I can tell you that is legal and is legitimate, too. If you have a high credit utilization, the quickest way you're going to see a jump in your credit score is if you pay it down. So the more that you use it, if you max it out, if you have it over, the more that your score is going to drop. The more that you pay it off or you keep it under, then the higher your credit score is going to be.
Wow, wow, great. This is all great information. For those who are just joining us, my daughter in law's in the chat. Welcome, baby girl. Thank you for joining. You got to join on Thursday too. I already told Coco. So this is Becca Credit Repair Specialist. We're talking all things credit. We're talking about credit cards. We're talking about all 3 credit reports versus the only 2 credit reports. We're talking about, her being able to help us get our credit right and giving us great information on what not to do with our credit right and how to keep it manageable. Okay. So this is Becca Credit Repair Specialist. Make sure you're following both creators. Make sure you're sharing the live and tapping the screen. That's the best way to get all this information out there in the universe, in the TikTok platform, right? Is to tap, share, and please leave your questions and comments. We've had some great comments so far. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate that. Continue to like the live, continue to share the live. We are talking to Becca Credit Repair Specialist. Make sure you go and follow both creators. So what are some quick wins people can do to raise their credit?
So the first one is going to be the credit utilization. That's super big. So yeah, if you have high balances, then go ahead and start paying them down as much as you can. Another quick win would be, and usually this is something that I see, sometimes people legitimately don't need credit repair. Sometimes they just need credit building.
Yeah.
So if you have loans that are paid off, and it kind of sounds counterintuitive, but yes, that credit history will be there, but it's not going to help your credit. So you do need to have active lines of credit. So if you don't have at least like 2 installments, so installments being loans, then I suggest getting 2. Like that can be, there's different reporting. So I think on Kickoff and also Rental Karma, you can actually go back and you can retroactively report your rent. You can report a phone bill, things like that. So if you can do that, then that's great because that'll show that. The other thing is going to be having at least 2 lines of revolving credit. So revolving is going to be the actual credit cards. If your score isn't high enough to get approved for a regular credit card, or if you have 0 credit, then I recommend getting a secured credit card, or you can actually go on Kickoff also. And I think you can pay like $5 and it'll show you have a $750 line of credit. So those are some, I'd say, quicker wins. And also inquiries, for the most part, they're not as damaging as people think. I'm not too sure why we're really worried about the inquiries and not so much about the collections and everything, but I'm always asked about inquiries. So typically it's good to have only around maybe like 3 to 4 inquiries a year. If you have more, you can go back and you can see, but make sure it's not connected to an open account. But if it's not, then you can actually go ahead and take those inquiries off, and you can see like little increases, like around 5-10 points or so.
Wow. This is great information, y'all. I'm learning a lot. Like I want to be able to have, better credit, after I stopped paying my student loans, and I know a lot of people did that. We thought they were going to go away for a little bit, but unfortunately they're not going to go away. We still have to pay them. I still should have been paying on them, but I didn't. So that, affected my credit score a lot. And I would love to, eventually be in my own home, something that's mine, right? And so this information should resonate with you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Now, with credit cards, you said, you can go on these sites and get a credit card that has $750 credit. Now, this may sound like a silly question, but like, let's say a Best Buy card or a JCPenney card, or those are considered also credit cards that you pay on them. You keep paying. Are they revolving, or what type? Do they help, I guess is my question.
Yes, they do. And don't ever worry, anybody, there is no question that is too silly. So I'm glad that you asked that. So don't ever feel that way, because I know like this is, like I said, a topic that we're not taught a lot about. So as far as that, they do help because they are revolving. I would say though, it also kind of falls into the rabbit hole of, when you go at checkout and they say, oh, if you apply and you're approved, then you get 10% off. Like, okay, bet.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, because you're just running up a lot of inquiries. Like I said, inquiries aren't as bad as people think they are, but if you're running a lot, that kind of is a little bit suspicious because they're going to say,
Yeah.
why are you running your credit so much? Like, do you need money or something? And that's a red
Yeah.
flag for lenders.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have some here and there and you're using them, like, yes, they're good. They'll help you out a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, I would just be cautious with that.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure because I only have a JCPenney's card. I got that last year, and it was like $300 or something. And I have, I just pay on it. I'll go and buy something and I pay on it, right? Because I wanted to do something that was mine and try to build on it. So I want to make sure I'm doing a good thing right now.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And since we're talking about these different cards too, actually, everybody, if you have a lot of credit cards, just keep them on there. Don't max them out. But if you haven't been using them for a long time, just go make like whatever, $10, $20 purchase.
Yeah.
And then pay it off. Don't let it close out because that'll decrease your credit score.
Okay.
Like people think that, oh, like I'll just cancel it. Don't do it.
Yes. So we have another question. Is consolidating debt a good plan?
Oh, I'm gonna get on my soapbox about this one. So, overall, like if it makes sense for your situation, then yes. But I also like people to know kind of what they're getting into. So with these debt consolidation companies, really what they're doing is they are just going and negotiating on your behalf to get like a lower payment, a lower basically interest with these companies that you owe debt with. And then you're just being charged like the handling fee. So it's like it can help, but you also could do it on your own. So technically you could just go ahead and call, I don't know, Discover or Capital One or whoever. And then you could say, hey, I want to work out a plan with this. Or could I decrease my interest, like something. So you could work it out on your own without paying somebody else. But if you're comfortable with that and you're like, you know what, I don't have time, I don't want to deal with this, then you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, that's great. Great questions, y'all. Great questions. Keep the questions coming. If you're just joining the live, Amanda C. Community Mike, let's talk about it. And tonight we are talking to Becca Credit Repair Specialist. Make sure you're following both creators. I want to send a big shout out to my sister, Melissa. She sent gifts and I didn't think she knew how to send gifts. She sent rose. Thank you so much, Melissa, for sending those roses. I appreciate that. Thank you to La Dreamer for always making sure. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you, La Dreamer, for keeping the chat and welcoming everybody and making sure that the chat is staying good. Cecilia, thank you for joining the live. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following both creators. We are talking credit, y'all. We're talking about building, maintaining. She's giving us a lot of gems. So I want to go into, can you let them know how they can follow you first and foremost, where they can contact you, and then I'll get into my other questions.
Okay, yeah. So my name on all platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is Becca Fixes Credit. I do that on purpose because I was like, because before I was trying to figure it all out, and then I had my name all over the place. So you can just follow me, Becca Fixes Credit, on whatever you feel comfortable with. My IG, I do have a link on there, so you could always go and see what packages I have available. But if you don't feel like doing that either, then you can just always DM me. I'm pretty responsive. So yeah, but it is me. I'm a real person. So.
Yes, she is a real person. I've known Miss Rebecca, I want to say going on 4 years now. I met her through a group, I think Girl Gang, or was it Girl Gang?
Yeah.
I think it was one of our women supporting groups that we met each other and we hit it off. And we talk every now and then she found out she did real estate. And at that time I was like trying to see where I was at. Right. And she helped me. She even sent me to people that could help me get my credit right, get my credit together. Right. I ended up moving forward with that. And we've always kept in touch. So again, she is a real person. And I think we talked about this on our last live with Alexis. He's the Quantico robot. And I guess people were pretending to be him online and people sent him money, sent this imposter robot, because he's an entertainer. He's that big robot. Have you seen them before? Like they go to quinceañeras and things?
Yeah, I think I saw him at a Houston Millennials event.
Yes. So it was that type of, that's his business. And I guess somebody was pretending to be him, his business. And that, like, I sent that business money and he ended up finding out. I guess they reached out to him and they were like, well, we sent you money. He was like, you didn't send me any money. And he ended up doing their event anyways because the people that they originally sent money to took their money and ran off with it. So good person. I'll send you his IG and his TikTok. That way you guys can follow each other because he's amazing. That interview was really good. So she is a real person. So follow her, ask her the questions, go and check out her packages. And that's what we're going to get into right now. We're going to get into her credit repair process. So can you walk us through how your credit repair service works?
Okay, so basically what I do is I start everyone off with an audit. And these audits are free. So it just kind of depends. Do you want to know everything that is on your report, or do you want only something specific taken off? Because I do have people that say, and I'm not too sure why, but I'm like, whatever. So some people, they only want one thing removed. So like, let's say they come to me, I only want my inquiries removed. I only want a collection like this and that. So it just depends. Do you want a specific account removed, or do you want everything repaired? Or do you not even know what you need? Are you just looking at your credit report and you're saying, you know what? I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't either. Like I look and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Gives me a headache.
Yeah, it takes a minute, but it's like once you're used to it, you're just flying through, you're like, oh, this and that. So that's why I do it for free. Because also too, I don't want someone to pay me and they don't even need credit repair. They just need credit building.
Yes.
So like that's a waste for everybody. Like I'm not gonna take your money and you don't need to pay me to fix something that isn't broken.
Yeah.
So that's the first step always. It's like, okay, you want full on like a report to see, okay, what's going on? What can we do? Or do you know something that you have and you just want it taken off? Yeah. So that's always the first step is, I guess, the kind of consultation. Yeah. And then the second one is just moving forward with it. So after I've told you what's wrong, what can be disputed, because on my part, all I can do is the document processing for these disputes. And I can tell you what's wrong. The other part too is going to be up to you. Mm-hmm. So that is going to be, for it being up to you, like if I tell you that you do need credit building, or if you need to pay down the credit card or something, like that's also going to play onto how, I guess, big results you see. So that's going to be on every client's behalf. But moving on from the whole credit audit, then it's actually beginning the first round of disputes. So through the law, which is the FCRA, you are able to basically dispute anything on your credit report. Doesn't mean that you should dispute everything, but you technically could, because it's anything that is inaccurate, unverifiable, or incomplete information. Mm-hmm. So that's basically, and then it has little sections here and there that I go through. So depending on the account, I leverage that law. And then every 30 days, disputes are sent out. Every 35 to 45 days, you'll get updates. So it'll just be me going on there, and I'll see on the credit monitoring system, like, okay, this was taken off, this was taken off. And then from there, I can adjust my disputes. And also throughout the process, if anybody gets letters or anything, because they will send letters, the 3 credit monitoring agencies, but also sometimes collectors or whoever else. That's perfectly normal. I can always adjust the disputes according to what they're saying. So that way it's not just, okay, like I'm ignoring you and I'm just doing what I want. So I try to tailor it to each one. And then pretty much that's it. So from there, you'll get the updates. You see what's being deleted. And then if you have anything that you need to do on your part, and of course I let people know. And then once you graduate the program, I always will ask my clients, do you have any questions? Is there anything else that, that you are confused with? And then I also try to make sure that everybody knows how to maintain the good credit, because it's one thing to get it, but it's another thing to maintain it. So that's pretty much the whole process. It's pretty hands off for the most part, unless, like I said, if you need to actually do something on your part too.
Oh, okay. We have a question from Melissa. That's my sister, and she also does balloons, so you need to go and follow her. She does amazing banners, balloons. Her business is called Balloon Sisters. So she does banners, hand painted, beautiful balloon backdrops. Make sure you follow her. She has a question. Do you have a team, or is it just you looking at our information?
Right now, it's all me. So, yeah, so I do everything. So I do the marketing, I do the disputing. I'm hoping later on this year then I could hire people on, but yeah, so right now it's just me looking at your information.
And how long does it normally, how long does it typically take to see results?
So typically you'll see something happen within the first 30 to 60 days. Um,
Oh, wait, that's not bad.
yeah, I mean it sometimes it is super dramatic where you'll see a lot of stuff come off, or
Yeah.
sometimes it's smaller, but I mean a win is a win. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's typically how soon you'll see something.
Okay. Okay. What should someone look for in a credit report and a credit repair company? So, like for instance, if we wanted to hire, if they wanted to hire you, what do they need to look for before they are while they're shopping around?
Well, I think first of all, you need to actually talk to them. Um, I mean, I guess it sounds kind of simple, but how comfortable do you feel with
Mm-hmm.
them? So sometimes, and I mean, that's not to like knock down anybody because as you grow, then a lot of times you'll have like the sales reps and everything. But I think it's going to be kind of a matter of transparency. So if somebody is saying that, oh, I fix credit and they don't, they're just like the sales rep, I think they needs to be clear, like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm working for this company. This is what we do. So I think the transparency and just being honest, because and I think we mentioned that too, where it's like earlier, and I get this all the time of I need it done in 30 days. Can you do it in 30 days? By law, I cannot guarantee you a time
Yeah.
frame. Sometimes you can't even guarantee the results at all. But that's like the thing. So you have to make sure that they're being real with you instead of just telling you what you want to hear. So you go and you pay that money because sometimes people end up paying thousands of dollars and they don't get anything done. So you want to ask them, yeah. So always ask, how fast can you guarantee results? If they
Yeah.
tell you, you know, smoke and mirrors, you know that they're not being honest. Another thing is going to be like how can you keep track of things? So sometimes people will let you have like a client portal and you can
Mm-hmm.
just go in and see anytime, or sometimes people do it manually. So you want to see what's going on. How will you know what's going on? And then another thing that you're also going to want to look for, um, hang on. I just had a little bit of a brain fog because I like I like the honesty. And then oh, also too, what you're gonna want to ask them, and I think this is super important, ask them how they're able to remove the information, which I think is also kind of simple sounding, but you're gonna remember it's the FCRA law. If they cannot tell you what the FCRA law is, um, I don't think you have any business talking to them because
Okay.
that's literally how credit repair works. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, y'all are hearing all the great stuff right now. You know, you're talking to a credit repair specialist. If you guys want to start off the new year right, you know, looking into your credit, figuring out what's on it. I know definitely I need to look at my credit, figure out what's on it. You know, eventually in the upcoming years, I would love to be a homeowner again. You know, I'd love to have my own home. Um, so you guys make sure you're following her, making sure you're asking her all the questions. She's the real deal, okay? She's gonna,
Thank you.
oh, welcome in, Jay. Thank you so much. I know the Texans are playing. I wanted to also say hello to Prince Zay. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you're following both creators. She's giving us some great information. I wanted to ask before I moved on to the next topic. Do you also, I mean, with the credit repair, it's, you know, helping with student loans, collections, and medical debt, or is it only certain debt that you help with?
I do all of them. The only
Okay.
thing that I do like to say, with all of this, you always have to remember that with credit repair, you're making it not visible on your credit report.
Okay.
So sometimes people will, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much, honestly, about the collection agencies. Like if you're being sued, you can message me and I can tell you more about that and how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it's a big scare tactic. That's a I could go on a soapbox about that too. That's a whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, but if it's especially like student loans or something like child support payments, that's federal. You guys, like, I can help it make look bad on your credit report, but please go talk to them because they can go and garnish your wages and you'll say, but my credit's good. They don't care because they have it in that system. So that's just the only thing that I have to say as far as that. But yeah, it's for everything: medical, collections, repos, inquiries, like everything.
Awesome. So you guys are hearing it here first from Becca Credit Repair Specialist. Reach out to my girl. Ask her all the questions. She does a free audit, right? You can reach her out on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Becca Credit Repair Specialist. She has a link that she can send you, right? And you have packages and things like that y'all can review together. Start off the new year right. Let's get our finances in order, y'all. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. Welcome in Lotus Mama 4, Ramon Lucio, thank you for joining the live. I appreciate it. Make sure you're liking and sharing and following both creators. So I want to go into some real life and fun questions before we close this interview out. You've given us so much information. So before I get into the real life and fun questions, what is something that you know that we need to know? Tell us about your business. Tell us about how we can get started.
Okay, so with my business, and I think I might mention it earlier, but I don't know. Don't catch
Mention
me
it
lying
again.
to you. Yeah, I'll say it again though, just in case. So a lot of credit repair companies, they only focus on disputing negative items, and that's really all they care about sometimes. What I try and do is I try to make sure that you have the credit disputing, yes, but also the credit building and how to maintain it. Because to me, I think education is everything. And I don't feel like I'm doing my job if I just am like, okay, you're good, everything's off, and then you go and then you ruin your credit again. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I take a heavy emphasis on education as far as that. And I do actually send out little like PDFs to my clients. So you can always go back and you can reread it. Or if you have questions, then you can always reach out at any time. I mean, I answer at any time, like if it's 2 a.m., but I will get back to you. And then the other part of actually getting started, honestly, you just need to message me and you just need to be willing to like go through the steps. So the onboarding, it does, I'm not going to say it takes a minute, but there is a lot of things that you have to register for and send me over the information. So there's that. And then just having the patience because, the credit repair, it isn't an instant fix. It does take time. So that's really about it.
All right. So that's where you guys can reach out to her, send her a direct message, reach out to her on any of her platforms. If you have any questions, she's here to help. And this is what these interviews are for, is to give you guys the information that you may have not necessarily had before this interview. I know a lot of the information she talked about is new to me. I enjoy learning. I enjoy the education, especially if it's going to benefit me, especially if I know that I'm in a situation to where your information is going to help me, or if I met you and you can help me. This is just great. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So let's get into some real life and fun questions. Okay.
All right.
So what is the most rewarding success story you've seen thus far?
I think it's just going from another person who kind of had a similar situation to me, not exactly with the whole accident, but just having lost their job and being far behind and just, confused what to do, feeling like it's just hopeless. I'll never be able to accomplish what I wanted to do. And being able to give that person a second chance and actually go on to go and get a car, to go and get life going and to be on track and actually be approved for, apartments without having to pay a lot of money or having a co-signer. So.
Oh, that's a big deal. That's great. And that, I'm sure that makes you just, know that you're doing your job. Your job is worthwhile. You're helping the community. You're helping, somebody else reach their goals and dreams.
Yeah, definitely. That's what life's about.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So what's one thing you wish everyone knew before applying for a loan or a credit card?
I think loans, you can't exactly do too much except make sure that your interest rate isn't super high. But with credit cards, I just wish, well, two things. First of all, how to properly use them, and also the different types of credit cards. Because depending on what you like, what you want, there's a lot of credit cards that actually do give you a lot of incentives. Sometimes you can get cash back. Sometimes you can get like travel rewards. So it just depends on what you want. So, yeah.
Okay. And what does financial freedom look like to you?
To me, I sorry, I just
Paint me a
put me in La
picture.
La Land. I'm all thinking.
Yes, girl, paint me a picture. I love it. Paint me a picture. I want to be able to envision it.
Yeah, to me, financial freedom is just really about getting my time back. Because to me, I don't know, I think time is the most expensive and then also the most priceless luxury you can have.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to actually, have everything going and making sure my clients are on track, but I also have the time that, okay, if I want to spend it with family, if I
Yes.
want to go travel, if I want to go take myself to a nice place, like a nice restaurant, because we're all about self-love,
Oh,
then I
yeah.
have that option to do it. I'm not over here like grinding away at a job that I hate or just kind of stuck and I'm asking like, oh, can I have time off? Can I
Yeah.
so to me that's what financial freedom is.
Absolutely. You're just surviving pretty much, And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I want to get on track. Financial freedom for me is getting back on track, learning things that I didn't necessarily know a few years ago, figuring out bank statements and, credit cards and things like that. It sounds silly, but it's true, knowing how to pay certain bills. We had that conversation years ago, learning how to do all that. That's financial freedom. Financial freedom for me is having my own home and having my grandbabies come over and having them spend the night, me waking up in the morning and making them breakfast, not necessarily all the money in the world, but not necessarily thinking like, okay, can I go and buy all the extra stuff for breakfast and still be able to put gas in my car, right? Things like that. Knowing that I've reached the point to where I am financially literate and I'm able to do this for myself and for my kids and especially my grandbabies.
Yeah, I love that. And also too, this creator, I really like her and she just released a second book. She goes by Your Rich BFF. Her name, for some reason I can't remember. Oh, Vivian, and then I think TU. But
Okay.
she was on Wall Street before, and now she just focuses a lot on financial literacy. So if you guys are looking for creators, then I really suggest her. I love her content.
Vivian
Yeah.
TU.
Yeah. Me, Your Rich
Awesome.
BFF.
Awesome. All right. So we've gone into a lot of stuff this evening. We're talking to Becca Credit Repair Specialist. I've known her for a few years now. We keep in touch every now and then. And I knew that starting off the new year was going to be a great interview. You coming on, telling everybody, talking about credit, talking about being financially literate, right? About your credit, getting your credit good and then maintaining that good credit score, right? Is what we've talked about tonight. She's just given us so much great information. If you missed the live or you're just joining the live, catch the recap. It's going to be on YouTube, the community mic on the YouTube channel. So make sure you go and subscribe to that. So let's see. I think I had a few more last questions, and then I will we'll wrap it up and let them know how they can contact you and how they can get started with you fixing their credit and maintaining their credit.
Okay.
So again, this is the call to action. How can someone work with you or book a consultation?
Literally just message me. So Facebook, Instagram, here. I'm Becca Fixes Credit on all platforms, so just go ahead and send me a message. And I mean, you just have to say credit, or you can just be like, "Hey, I need help," anything. So that's how you can get started.
Awesome. Queen Latina lawyer, that she's out of Florida. Thank you for joining the live. I love her content. She's super amazing. Thank you so much for joining the live, amiga. I hope you're doing well out there. Okay, so where can people find you? We kind of talked about that. Instagram, Facebook, here on TikTok. Shoot her a message, y'all, for any questions. Get your free audit, right? Because you said you do free consultations.
Yes.
Get your free consultation if you don't understand what's going on in your credit, or maybe you just want to see where you're at if you're trying to get a house, right? or you want to get into a car, but get the house before you get the car.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Reach out to her, let her know. So if there was one thing that you want to leave us with, oh, actually, before we do that, y'all, we got to do a picture. I've been, for my lives, I started doing it at the end of the year last year with all my guests. So we'll have everybody get ready. And when I count to three on three, everybody takes a screenshot of us on this, and then I repost it. It's super cute. So is everybody ready before we end this live, before we stop talking to Becca, credit repair specialist? We're going to get ready to take our screenshot. So let me know in the comments by telling me you're ready so that I can count to three. And then you guys take a screenshot. And once you take that screenshot, you're going to send it to me so that I can put it in my videos or put it in my postings. It's just a super cute thing that I like to do. So Ladrima's ready, Melissa's ready, everybody, let's see, Queen Latina Lawyer, are you ready? JP's ready. So on the count of three, Miss Becca. Lotus, are you ready? I know you are. Come on, girl, you got to give me my picture. Patty, you ready? So we're going to count to three. We're going to pose or do whatever you want, and hopefully they'll get some good images. 1,
hopefully.
2, 3, cheese. I hope you guys got the pictures. Awesome. Thank you so much. So if there's one thing that you want to leave this community with, whether it's about credit, whether it's, a quote or just something that you've learned through all the stuff that you've gone through and that's gotten to you to this point today, because I've been watching your platform. I've, watched where you've come from, how far you've grown, and I love it. I love to see it. I love to see us growing, right? And I think it's amazing. And I just want to continue to watch you keep getting bigger and keep growing and keep adding to your business. So if there's one thing that you can leave us with, what would that be?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And then I'm excited to see you growing and thriving. So I'm so glad we're able to do that together.
Yes.
I think what I would like to leave everyone with, and once again, maybe it sounds so simple, but I think that no matter what, like sometimes we can't control the hands that we're dealt, but we always have the option to move forward from where we're at right now. Like our future isn't decided unless we take, action in the present. So if you feel that you're behind or that you're stuck or this and that, the only thing that you can do is move. So take some sort of movement forward. You are not a hopeless case. You can have a second chance. You can have everything that you want. So just go ahead and, ponte las pilas, go for it, go seize it. You can do it. And it doesn't matter who supports you, who says what. You believe in you and you go get what you want. So that's what I have to tell everybody.
Awesome, girl. Y'all, she's speaking truth over here. I love it. And this is one thing that I love about the community, Mike. And this is what I want this platform to be, is I want it to be a safe place for everybody to come on and speak their truth, and for people to, a platform for everybody who believes in each other, a platform and community for love. So we can come on and share each other's businesses, each other's trials, each other's ups and downs. You went through it. You went through that horrific car accident that you had to go through, but it brought you to this space that you're at right now. And I love it. And I can't wait to see more of it. And I appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you so much for your time. And we're definitely going to be in contact real soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun, and I'm just glad to be here. And like I said, just seeing you thriving and just be able to be on this space and help out people. And, hopefully you guys learned something. I know it's a lot, but I hope that you're able to take something and you're able to apply it to your life and hopefully upgrade it.
Absolutely. Y'all heard it here first. Miss Becca, credit repair specialist. Make sure you follow her on all her social media platforms. Reach out to her for your free consultation. Get your credit right for the new year. Get you a house. Make all your goals and dreams come true when it comes to financial literacy. You heard it here first. The Community Mic. Let's talk about it with Amanda C. and my guest, Becca, credit repair specialist. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for Thursday. We have another great interview. It's going to be with Mr. Sean Mecca. He's going to be an amazing interview, y'all. Stay tuned. Lock it in, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Thursday, January, I think it's 15th. We'll guys see you soon. Thank you, Becca. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Another great interview for the books. I am super excited. I can't express how happy I am to be able to have this platform and to interview wonderful, beautiful women like Becca. I've had the opportunity to interview so many great women, so many strong women, so many business women. And I'm here for it. It's helped me so much with my confidence, with, pushing forward. And just like Becca said, don't let anything stop you. And that's what I'm here for. The community mic, let's talk about it. Amanda C, the TikTok queen, is here to highlight local businesses, artists, musicians, educators, creators. That's what this platform is for, so we can come on. It's a community, this community of love, community of support. Not only here in Houston, because we've interviewed people from Dallas, interviewed people from Florida. This platform is only getting bigger, and you guys are here for it from the beginning. I appreciate everybody for logging on tonight. Stay tuned Thursday, January 15th, Sean Mecca. It's going to be a great interview, y'all. Thank you, Mommy, for joining the live. I love you too. We'll see you soon. Amanda C, TikTok Queen, the community mic. Good night.